Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Stardust Show, powered by Radio Wars World. I have the privilege of inviting today a very young, very beautiful, a very incredible source of good. Welcome, please welcome my co-host today, Jennifer Hardie. Over to you, Jennifer.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me on this show. It's a complete honour to be welcomed into your community, so thank you for having me.
Actually, you've been nominated for the Stardust Awards, which are happening in London in November 18-19 in London. And we decided that it would be great if you could share some time with us tonight and share your story so people start voting for you. And hopefully we'll meet your listeners, our listeners, and yourself on the red carpet.
Wow, so excited. I just could not believe to even have the nomination is mind-blowing for me. So thank you so much for that too. So my story, where I came from, well, basically, I actually started my entire career in musical theatre. So my life was dance and drama and singing, and I didn't really know anything else. I wasn't well, I was educated. Of course, I went to school, but it was never something that I was academia side of things. I was very creative, and I was so passionate. And at that time, I didn't really know where to channel any of my passion. So theatre was an incredible outlet for it. And I studied that for a long time and had an okay career. I wasn't by any means famous or anything like that, but I had some incredible opportunities and experiences with some amazing people, directors, choreographers, and things like that too. I actually met my first my first boyfriend as well when I was 16 at school, and very quickly we kind of fell in love, which was ridiculous to say, but we were 16 at the time. He was very enthused by the fact that I not do the norm. I didn't want to just get married and have kids. I wanted to travel. I wanted to try and inspire others in some kind of way. So I went down to London. So from Scotland to London is actually quite a bit away, and I was only 17. I was about to turn 18 to start my course in musical theatre, and Matthew came with me, and that was fantastic. But because London is so fast-paced, it's very demanding. There was obviously a lot of competition, far more competition than what I expected, to be honest. I actually began to grow apart as people, and I began to slowly disengage from theatre arts a little bit. And although at that point, believe it or not, what I wanted was the fame, because, when you're younger, that's what you think life is all about, or maybe some people do, but I thought, I want to be rich, I want to be famous, I want to have that lifestyle. It was at the time where magazines were, all the rage with beautiful young looking girls on the front covers, and I wanted to be one of them. When I look back now, it seems quite funny compared to what I do now, but that's what I wanted. That is what I was striving for. And actually, as I went on, did my course, I got signed to a music label. That started to fall through as well, and my relationship with Matt started to break down too. So I decided to basically finish my career in London and move back home. And I moved back in with my mum and dad. So after being away in London for years, I moved back home. I was about 21, 22 at the time. And I moved home and very quickly met someone else as well, Andy. And within a period of 4 short months, I fell pregnant with my first son, Joshua, his name is. Andy and I split up, which is probably inevitable, to be honest, because we were in a very fast relationship. Although I love him as Joshua's father, we weren't compatible in any way. I don't know if I was, almost just a bit kind of lost as well with what I was doing, and I wanted to part ways from Matt because he didn't have the same ambition that I wanted, which now I learn was probably quite a good thing, because I was a bit of a wild child, let's say, to be perfectly honest as well. So I had Joshua, and as Andy and I split up, I realised that I had to look after myself financially, and I couldn't just keep on relying on my parents. So I began my first theatre school a couple of years after he was born. He was about 3.5, 4. And I started my own little theatre school, and I started with 5 kids in a CD player, with no real acumen to do anything to do with business. All I knew was I had these skills, which was dance and drama and singing. I had I couldn't go and do tours anymore because I was bringing up a little boy. I couldn't go and be in shows that lasted for months on end. Just came in. Want to say hello very quickly? Say hi.
Hi.
Oh,
Hello.
oh, baby girl. I'll be 2 minutes, honey. Do you want to sit in my knee and listen? Mummy's just talking to lots of viewers at the moment. So yeah, I thought I have to really find a way of monetizing what I'm good at, and that was performing, and it was theatre. And like I said, I started this little school, and very quickly, within the space of about a year, we had grown from a couple of students, little kids Joshua's age, to having a full theatre school of a couple of hundred of kids, which was unbelievable. It was incredible, and very, very rewarding. Very rewarding to see young kids have their first taste of what musical theatre was, and that kind of creative edge, and also for confidence for kids as well. I've seen some children come to me and be very, very quiet and shy and reserved, and then, by our end of our journey, or a couple of months into our journey together even, be confident and want to go up and speak and put themselves out there. And that was incredible to watch and to be a part of. So I took my role as a teacher very, very seriously. I then actually, believe it or not, got back in touch with Matthew, who was my partner from when I was 16. And this is a very, very quick way of telling this story, but we met back up again, and we fell in love for the second time, and we are now married. And I fell pregnant with my daughter Ruby. She was a tough child, so she was amazing, but pretty hard work, like all babies are actually. But it had been 8 years between Joshua and Ruby, so I don't know if it was just a bit of a shock to the system, and the fact that I had businesses to run at this point as well, because not only did I have the theatre skills, I'd also started a network marketing business with a health and wellbeing company. So I was trying to run these 2 businesses. I was out Monday to Sunday. I was also working full time for the NHS and doing health and wellbeing theatre classes. But I was also doing choreography and directing and doing some producing as well. So you can imagine my diary and my life was packed full. And obviously at this point I've had Ruby and I've got Joshua too. So really what happened was, going forward from there, was I fell pregnant with my 3rd child, little Joya, and she came along, and again I didn't stop working. I worked, and I actually overworked myself so badly that I had an absolute complete meltdown, breakdown, to the degree of not being able to even get out of my bed in the morning. It was a real horrible time, and I couldn't. I don't know if anyone relates to this listening, but being in such a low point of your life, you lose the ability to feel and to love and to appreciate and to be grateful. That all goes, and all of a sudden you're trapped in almost like a dark hole. And if anyone out there has ever suffered from that, then I can completely relate to it, because that's where I was, with absolutely no vision at all of being able to ever get better from that. It was a very, very low point, very sad point. And it turns out that it was extreme postnatal depression after having Joya, and that's what caused the most part of me being so ill. So, of course, working as hard as I was, had to stop, and I had to begin to to look after myself more. And I had to learn how to forgive myself for going through that dark period of time and maybe not being there for my children and my newborn. Remember, Joy was just a baby as much as she should have been. So there was a lot of forgiveness, forgiving myself, a lot of getting better, self-preservation, trying to remember as well, out with my work, what I loved. You know, just being able to take a walk to the park and being able to appreciate the fact that the grass was greener, or the sun was shining, or all those things that you completely, when you're in that space, you can't see the beauty. I had to really learn to get that back. So I did get better with my family's help, and I learned to fall in love with my family again, and in love with myself again, actually, more than anything else. And really at that moment I said, you know, I need to begin to create a life that I am proud of, but that doesn't completely consume me, business-wise, I mean, and that is fulfilling, because I'm creative and I'm passionate and I want to give, and I want to inspire, and I want to grow and help other women step into their greatness too. So I had to figure out a way that this could all work together and it could all coexist. And I suppose I kind of did with the network marketing company. That was going really well. I was doing some coaching for that, obviously, and helping other women set up their businesses. And I reached the top 10 in Scotland for that, which was fantastic. But I also realised that there was an even bigger thing that I wanted to achieve. So I began a platform called That's My Crown, which is a women's platform that they can use to showcase their business for free. They can use it as a place to chat with other women, to gain business insight, to draw on my experiences and every other woman that surrounds them, to draw on their experiences, their ups as well as their downs, and grow from it. But what That's My Crown is going to actually be, it's going to be a magazine eventually, but it's going to be, even more importantly, a scholarship fund for women who want to go on and start their own business. Or it could be even something simple as they want to buy a new suit to go to a job interview. Or they might decide that they want to, I'm not sure, do something creative that they didn't get the opportunity or chance to do when they were younger. Or maybe it's someone older who's went through their entire career and wants to go back and revisit something that they were super passionate about. So the scholarship fund will be there for women globally that they can come to and tap into and use in a way that they please. And so I'm so super excited about that going forward. I've also started a women's wear collection called Ruby Joyous, which I'll be launching soon. All the designs are through, and that's exciting too. And I coach one-to-one, which is probably the thing that I'm most passionate about just now. I actually coach women on the kind of tech side of starting their own business. So a little bit of web design, branding, lead pages, which is just like capturing leads. What else do we do? Finding the perfect customer for clients. And all from a place of the heart and from a place of service. I believe that you will be abundant when you serve others. And through all the veins of all the businesses that I have now, it continues to be, you can go then. It continues to be that thread. You know, when I feel as if I'm being of service to someone, that's when I feel at my most fulfilled. And that is when the universe almost says, you know what, I've got your back, and abundance begins to. So I've probably went on far too long about my story, but I thought it would be nice to share with you. I think what I want to get across to any women that I work with, and any men too, is that I want you to elevate that by 10.
Oh, wow. Jennifer, it's so beautiful. And
it's such a small place, isn't it, the world? And we believe that, I know that we're tiny little parts of it, but you can do anything, and you can put yourself out there that you want to be, as long as your heart's in the right place. That is what I believe 100%. So yes. I hope that was okay. Not too long.
You are giving us so much, and I just wonder if you could, when looking back, what are the top three experiences or pain or challenges that you managed to overcome to be where you are right now?
I think number one was definitely thinking that failure meant to fail, as opposed to failure actually just meaning a learning curve for me to springboard off of onto something else. I think that was one of the big ones. And the failure really came from me feeling as if, because my theatre skills, I had to let them go. Once I had my, 2 seconds. Once I had my bout of illness, when I had to let them go, I felt as if I had failed. But failed because, of course, the income side of things that had to happen then, failed my students, failed myself. It was a horrible time. But my biggest regret about that, or not even regret, I don't regret anything anymore, but I suppose my biggest learning curve was the fact that that failure was only just part of my story, and it was going to define what I went on to achieve in the future. So that would be one. Something else I've had, obviously having to get over actually physically being unwell, physically and mentally being unwell. And I decided which is not always the best decision. And actually, the stage that I was at, it was a 50-50 to make sure I was going to be able to get better. But I chose just to try and wake up and to try and find what gratefulness felt like. By going walks, doing a little bit of exercise, starting to treat my body right, eating well. And it did all, but that was a really dark place, and I was scared that I wasn't ever going to be out of it. I think that was one of the other hardest things to get over. And then, let me think, what could number three be really? I think number three is still something that I suffer with now to a degree, which is the kind of work-life balance, and making sure that I'm present with my children, as well as trying to build really successful businesses. Any parents out there will know that that's a juggle, and it can sometimes be a bit hard work and a bit of a strain, to say the least. So it's not something that is obviously like a massive problem or issue. It's a beautiful issue to have, but I find sometimes I kind of struggle a little bit like that with the balance. I think that's maybe something we all sometimes struggle with, is the work-life balance and trying to get that right. So that's something I'm working on every single day. I'm working on that.
So requires constant work. It's almost like inside works. It's almost like nobody could help you anyway, unless you want to escape that sense of anxiety and the different layers of stress that keeps you hostage in a very narrow place. It's almost like a very narrow tunnel, and you go through that without knowing that there is a light at the end of this tunnel or not, just hoping that unless you don't stop, things cannot change. So you are keep going, overcoming challenge after challenge, and then here you are. It's your own light. You discover that actually it is your own strength. It is your own desire to be more, to feel happy inside, that is the medicine, the magic that happens within you. You had it all the way.
Yeah.
It was not enough time, not enough energy left for you to recognize it, to embrace your truth, and start this growth into your own inner greatness. Tell us, what are for a young, vibrant woman like yourself, where everything is happening at once now, what are your 3 top wishes?
My 3 top wishes. My 3 top wishes is to try and leave every single person that I meet in a better place than how I found them. That is one of my, I believe that's one of my callings. I believe that's my heart. That's one thing. My second wish is for my children to be inspired by me. And I get a bit emotional actually saying that, because at one point they wouldn't have been inspired by me. So that's one of my wishes. I'm so sorry, I get a bit upset. It's so lovely to be asked these kind of questions now that I'm in the place I am now, actually. My would be to assist people in realizing that, just like you said there, everything that they need to take a step forward, to step into their greatness, to move upwards within their career, with their life, with anything, they already have all the tools. They already have everything they need. They just have to be brave enough to actually take that step. And I think that's what it comes down to sometimes, is just being a little bit brave and saying, do you know what? I don't really know when I'm going to land. I don't really know what the outcome is going to be, but I believe and I'm brave enough to take the step and then almost see what's going to happen. I do believe that things always work out for the best as well now. So that would be my 3 wishes. If I could fulfill even one or all, that would be amazing.
I think you start fulfilling that wish already. The reality, you live in a different reality. You created your own reality, which is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you
And
so much.
you created a big reality where you dream big. There is room for other people to join you and have their own wishes become a reality. So I think it's almost like a wave of emotional intelligence where people recognize their truth, where each one of us stands a chance, a brilliant chance to be themselves, not thinking that, well, I'm different. I might admit I'm not good enough, I'm not young enough, I'm not old enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not sexy enough, I'm not. It's all this stereotyping thinking that it's holding each one of us at some point in our lives hostage to a situation that is not really real. If you think about your reality, is the one you live right now, is not the one where you are on your knee, not being able to get up.
Yes,
Not
exactly.
when you are on the floor begging for another day to go faster because you didn't want anything from life. And
Yes.
look at you now. Look at your children and how much they could learn from you. And Jennifer, I think, and this is my personal experience, everything that happened to me personally and hurt me at the time and made me um, think there is no hope. I'm all alone in this big world. Everything happened for a very good reason, and actually happened not for a very good reason. Happened for me to grow,
Yes.
for me to grow and grow my own wings, because you have a big dream, you have a big vision, and there's nothing to support your dream or your vision, and it's simply nothing because you have it all already.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is to allow yourself to grow your own wings and fly wherever your mind is taking you, because life is an adventure of the mind.
Yes.
Nothing happens outside your mind, and everything that is a reality, everything that is called progress, every single, even if you look at a bridge or a building, it was in somebody else's mind first.
Yeah.
And you have the same chance to create a legacy, to leave something behind you apart from sorrow, apart from people feeling sorry for yourself. You could create something that people look up thinking, oh my God, if Jennifer could, maybe I can as well. And you know what? I'm going to give it a very good go. I'm going to give it my all to see there is more to life, must be more to life, cannot be just this limiting set of circumstances where you feel trapped.
Exactly.
It's such a, you are such a beautiful stardust story to inspire our listeners and inspire the people you love the most. And I know that that's a tall order, because most of the time the people you love and the people you care for, they won't understand your big dream. They
No, they
will.
don't.
What is your experience with laying down the, putting down the the message within your own community, within your the people you love the most, how they reacted first when you said,
Well,
you know what, I have a big dream. I have a
yeah,
big dream and I'm going to make it a reality.
yeah. Obviously, when I say I want to do coaching and I want to design my own women's wear collection, all this kind of stuff, they kind of always then said, okay, that's fine, but are you going to get a real job? And I can remember going, well, these are real jobs, like, but they're going, but how are you going to make any money out of it? And how are you going to do this? And how are you going to do it? And I was like, do you know what? I don't even know. I don't know, but I'm just going to go for it. I want to create something that's mine, and I don't really know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to work hard and I'm going to find the ways and I'm going to put it together and I'm going to do it. And I've actually really sadly lost quite a few friends as well, because they got, this is the absolute truth. I had a friend come to me and say, I stopped being your friend on Facebook because I couldn't be bothered seeing all your happy posts. That's what they said to me.
Oh.
So because I'm working so hard on my positivity, and obviously what you put, you begin to radiate and it comes back. That's my belief. I was putting out, like I do all the time, every single day, loads of positive quotations and things that really inspired me, and talking a bit about the happy times that I was going through. Not always, but sometimes. And I had a friend actually leave me and say that they were sick of hearing about me being happy and happy quotes and things like that. And I just thought, do you know what? That says more about you as a person than it does about me. And I left it, and I know for a fact that I will go back and speak to that person, because I cannot hold grudges for the life of me. But it was upsetting. It was upsetting to see someone who cared, or you cared about, not have 100% belief in you, and just believe that what you were creating was basically a bit of nonsense and was never going to be successful. My family, like I say, they asked me when I'm going to get or they used to ask me, not anymore, they don't, but they used to ask me, when are you going to get a real job? A Monday, Friday, 9 to 5 job, when are you going to do that? And I just always, for some reason, was able to block it out and to detach myself from it and just be so razor sharp focused on the things that I wanted to create for myself and for my kids to see, that what they said just began to become none of my business, if that makes sense. I just...
Totally. And you know, Jennifer, is an old quote by Winston Churchill, and he said that success is not final and failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So the courage to continue against all nonsense, the courage to continue against all breaks, the courage to continue no matter what, because you cannot help it. You cannot be without. You cannot be living your life without purpose. And once you find your purpose, you become your purpose.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of people are thinking self-development, this industry is a bit too easy.
Mm.
And then they have a go. And even they are great at what they are doing and they have a unique message, they still don't realize that actually this is not about you.
Yeah, exactly.
It is you are the channel, but it's almost like nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You are like that Greek soldier who had to run wounded all the way from Marathon to Athens to deliver the good news for somebody.
Yeah.
And they said the war is over. That's all they said. But you see, this marathon each one of us is taking within the personal development industry, we are not thinking of ourselves. It is nothing to do with me.
Nothing.
It is all to do with the people we could help together. And I know some people think, living the dream, I want that.
Yeah.
But do they really want that bad enough to make the sacrifices they have to make, to put in the effort, the hour, the thinking, the travels, that one thing that you cannot be somebody else, and you have to embrace your truth no matter what. You have to endorse your vision. You have to endorse your own truth and accept yourself for who you are, and see that you got it all already, and take responsibility for that. Because to gain the strength, the courage, the confidence from the decision you are making each day,
Yeah.
is basically taking responsibility for your own talent,
Yeah.
and master it. Realize that this is my strength. And yes, I might have a million weaknesses, but who cares? I have a strength that I could master, and I could help so many people, because nobody else got what I got. Nobody else could be Jennifer.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
being guided by love. This is the personal development business. Is not, it is a business, and most people think it's a hobby, but it is a real business. But it's guided by love and peace. And you start by loving yourself.
Yeah.
Because once you start loving yourself, you realize that you are here for a reason.
Yes.
All the atoms in your body are coming from a different star.
Yes.
And a supernova had to happen for you to to become this person you are right now, because it's a scientific fact. We are made of stardust. You are coming from stardust. And how are you going to let your life go by unnoticed, insignificantly, not feeling you are an extraordinary creation,
Yes.
not delivering your amazing genius, your own stardust, and paying that forward to others? I mean, nobody, it's like a moral crime. Nobody has that right to deny their own
Yeah.
greatness, to deny their uniqueness, not to develop their talent, not to master their gift. Is a gift. Each one of each and every one of us receive that gift, and is unique to each one of us. And your gift, Jennifer, is never going to be mirrored by anyone else. Nobody could be you. It's a fact.
Yeah.
And if you are choosing not to be you, it's a void. It's a void that the world is going to carry. I so love your story, and I think it's so much, almost like, to me, oh my God, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And
Yeah.
allowing yourself to be who you truly are, and stand up for yourself, is being a massive inspiration, not only locally, but now you'll start going worldwide, and people will know you. So you make the impact globally when
Yes.
you stand in your own light, when you think, you know what, if I could bring the light into a dark sky for
Yes.
somebody else, for one single person, that's all I want. But guess what, Jennifer? There are a lot of people who are under the dark sky. They are not even aware of their worth. They don't really understand that self-confidence is a dimension of your well-being. They don't
Yeah.
even think in terms of um, who I am. They think they are who they've been told they are. And
Yes.
what we are helping our students, our clients, our community, is to learn their true worth. To
Yes.
understand that no matter how many degrees they got so far, no many how many tests they passed, no many how many diplomas they got on the wall, they still owe themselves
Yes.
to learn who they truly are. The art of science, the art and science of being yourself, is something that nobody can teach you. You have to go inside and discover. Get the time, get the passion for it, to discover who is this person sitting beside me, instead of thinking the next person sitting next to you, oh, they are too positive, they are too glamorous. Instead of thinking of all of that, just focus on how amazing you are yourself, and bring that
Yeah.
stuff out. So I'm very passionate about what you do, and I can't wait to meet you on the red carpet. You are in for a huge galactic stardust hug, Jennifer.
Oh,
We have a lot of messages from our listeners now. They all thank you for inspiring them, and we are going to provide all your details so they could get in touch with you. What is the key message for tonight, Jennifer?
For tonight would be, it's actually a really beautiful saying, and the saying is, if service is above you, then leadership is below you. And it's something that's always stuck in my head, and every single day I think to myself, what can I do today that can serve other people? And yes, of course, I get to coach not only those one-to-one basis. What are the other things I can do just to even people walking down the street, whether it's literally lift my head and say good morning and smile at someone, or anything at all. If I'm in a place that I'm serving is where I'm happy and where I can enlighten and make others happy too. So that's it. That would be my thing that I would love to say tonight. If service is above you, then leadership is below you. So thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it, Marina.
Wow, it's such a privilege. You know, I never learned this, and you got me thinking now. So we are going to talk more about this. Perhaps we could have another show where you could teach us a little bit more about service and leadership. So until then, Jennifer, you are Stardust. From both of us, just remember, you are Stardust. Goodbye.
Goodbye.